finger roll is as exciting and as entertaining a shot as you'll ever find in basketball. It's different from the regular layup. It's different from the jump shot. It's different from the sky hook. It's different from the jump hook shot. This is a play where you're coming in and almost across your body have to roll the ball back and let it slip off those fingers. So as our demonstrators will now show us, they come in along the baseline and cross over, so they're coming with their body and opening up to lay it down in. This is something that takes a lifetime to master and perfect, but it's something that was extremely valuable as you become an offensive weapon, because when you're coming to the hoop, they're going to cut off your strong hand. They're going to cut off that layup. And when you make that crossover, as opposed to having to sometimes throw up a wild left-handed shot or offhand shot, now you find yourself the ability to come in and finger roll. Another instance where you would use and incorporate the finger roll is when you have your back to the basket and you're sliding across the lane trying to get into your position where maybe you're going to set up for a sky hook coming back in the other direction, but they've covered everything off. And so a good place to utilize this finger roll is as you're coming back in, you can quickly lay it back over the guy's outstretched arm before he ever has a chance to even react, as our demonstrators will now exhibit. Very nice. Don't worry about making the shots. Practice is about developing the confidence, developing the rhythm, developing the techniques. Remember, at sports school, we're all about learning how to learn. Just because you know how to do something doesn't mean that you're going to be able to execute it perfectly every single time. That comes over a lifetime of commitment and execution. But that sense of being able to quickly flip it back over. Speaking of flipping it back over, why don't we reverse the sides of the court and come in with the left hand? Very nice. Remember, this is a roll. This is the ability to just get the ball up quickly before the defender has a chance to even react. Because in real life, the way this is going to work is if Jeffrey is coming in here, I'm sliding defensively, and he wants to explode right through me while I am leaning back. And this is a good way also to get to the free throw line as the demonstration part of our 4 laws of learning continues here. Remember what those 4 laws are: demonstration, imitation, correction, and most importantly at the end, repetition, repetition, repetition. The hook shot is completely different from the jump shot. Number one, when you're shooting a hook shot, you're going to have your back to the basket initially. Then the footwork is totally different. It starts from the triple threat position. Our demonstrator's feet are too wide here. You got to have a good balance because you don't know what shot you're going to execute here. In the drills, in practice, yes, we can identify them, but in the course of the game, it all has to start from the perfect position of balance and triple threat so that you then execute the move that the defense leaves open. But when you shoot that hook shot, the lead foot, step and point so that the feet become perpendicular to each other. The lead knee is bent as much as possible, and then you explode up and swing that hook shot with the strong hand, keeping 2 hands on it the whole time. Start right underneath the basket here. Always start right underneath the basket. Makes no difference if you can start out there if you can't do it here as a basic layup every time. Then just turn, step and point, and roll it over and shoot your hook shot. Very nice. Keep 2 hands on that ball. Keep 2 hands on it all the time. We got a little point guard out here able to do the same thing. Believe me, just because he's a little guy and he's not as big as me doesn't mean he can't develop his hook shot, because you never know where the matchup advantage is going to come from. If all of a sudden we got 4 guys who are totally equal to the other guys on the other team, and we have an advantage at this position, hey, we want to be able to roll him into the paint so that he can become the pivot player. The same as with the pivot players have to be able to play on the perimeter. These little guys, they have to be able to execute these plays as well. The swing and the hook shot, very nice. One more time. Step and point, bend that leg, keep 2 hands on it. Fluidity, very nice. Okay, let's back up a second. Let's talk about the initial great post player in the history of professional basketball, Mr. George Mikan, who they named this drill after. It's called the Mikan drill, where you're going to be shooting a hook shot here, catch it, and just hook shot left and right, back and forth. Very nice. This is a drill that every player has to do at every point of their development. Notice how the ball never comes down. Don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. Very nice. Next demonstrator, please. The swing of the ball, very nice. This is the Mikan drill. Notice, though, how the position of the body is rotated in so that it's almost a layup. Now, though, we have to turn that into how to execute the hook shot. So from here with the step and point, and then swing here to get that momentum and take it up with the two hands strong. Drop that offhand off the ball at the last possible moment. Now we come back, very nice. Same thing, but with the left hand. And again, these are all things that have to be practiced in front of the mirror so you see what it is you're doing, and always ask yourself, why? This has all been thought out from the greatest teachers and the greatest players this game has ever known. Basketball is a simple game, but it's a game that must be played, it must be executed by players who are in condition and who have mastered every aspect of the fundamental game, which is what we're working on here at sports school. And as we swing these right and left-handed hooks, remember the footwork of step and point, bend the knee, keep the ball in the triple threat position, and start right underneath the basket each and every time. The jump hook, our next step in the progress of developing a complete and devastating, unstoppable game. This is the one time in all of basketball where the lead foot stays on the ground, and you're going to pivot 90 degrees around and then get up in the air and deliver that jump hook the whole time, keeping the ball away from the defender by positioning your body in between the ball and your opponent. As the demonstrators will show, he steps right in, and then the ball comes up from the triple threat position and is just flicked in with both the right hand and the left. As you work on these, particularly the left hand, you're never going to shoot an offhand hook shot, whether it's a jump hook or a sky hook, from any further out than just point blank range, because that is what the defense is going to give you every time. If you're a right-handed player, they're going to allow you to swing a left-handed hook whenever you want. So when you're working on getting that, get it down here as close as you can in the paint area and just take it over so you're basically just rolling it right over the front of the rim. Notice the footwork. Notice how they're balanced. Notice how when they pivot, it's all the same. Things never change. You have to incorporate this into everyday part of your rhythm, your part of your presentation to make it all happen. Then when the games come, you're out there playing, and there's opponents who are trying to stop you from doing what you want. You have a computerized hard disk right in here of everything you want to do. And the real skill then comes in the decision-making process. What move is going to work at this point? What move will be appropriate? What shot? The hook shot, the jump hook, the jump shot. All these different things will make you the best basketball player that you can possibly be.